Hello dear students, greetings for the day. In today's video lecture, we will be studying about the Harvard architecture and the von Neumann architecture. This is very important point as far as studying the microcontrollers or the processors are concerned. Okay, so basically I'll just introduce you to the few concepts first. Okay, so see, basically when the data and code line in different memory blocks, okay, when the data and the code lines are in different memory blocks, then it is referred as a Harvard architecture. It is referred as a Harvard architecture. So see, every microprocessor must have a memory space to store the program or the code and data. This is a general tendency, okay, that a processor or a controller should have the program memory or the data memory to store the code. Okay, so what does the code do then? What is the function of code? The function of code is to provide the instructions to the CPU, that is the central processing unit. Okay, and data provides the information to be processed. Just understand it clearly. It provides the instruction to the CPU, that is code provides the instructions to the CPU, and data provides the information to be processed. Okay, so what does CPU use to access the code? Now who will help in the code to reach towards the CPU? How to transfer this code to CPU? You will need some wires. Wires are called as buses. So in order to make the code reach towards the CPU, you have to use a bus. What is bus? Bus is nothing but a media to move from one place to the another place. Okay, so earlier computers used the same bus for accessing the code as well as data. It means there was a common bus. Sharing of bus was done, okay, in order to access the code as well as data. The such type of architectures are called as von Neumann architectures. Okay, so Harvard architecture and von Neumann architectures are both separate from each other. Okay, so the Harvard architecture is a computer architecture with a separate storage and signal pathways for instructions and data. Separate pathways means separate buses will be used to transfer the code and the data. So it consists of two separate memories, that is program memory and the data memory. In this architecture, the data is stored in the data memory, whereas the code is stored in the program memory. The idea behind the Harvard architecture is to split the memory into two parts, one for data and another for program. You can see it by this diagram. Okay, so looking into this diagram, you can see this is your data memory and this is your program memory. You can see here code ROM is written and here is a data RAM. This is 4 KB, this is 2 MB. Okay, this is of 2 MB. So it uses the separate buses for code, that is program memory. You can see these are the buses. These are separate ones for the code and the data. From here you have to send the data, and here is the program memory where the instructions will be stored. So we are saying that the Harvard architecture is going to use the separate buses for the program and the data memory. Okay, so here we are going to need the 4 sets of buses. You can see here 4 sets of buses are used. You can see the set number 1, that is here. Okay, that is this one, the one which I have marked with the red color. You can see D0 to D7. A set of bus for data RAM, okay, for carrying the data in and out of CPU. Okay, so see, here is your CPU, this is your data memory, this is your program memory. I'll just mark it here, D for data memory, this is CPU, and this is P for your program memory. So the first set of bus is from D0 to D7. It is D, it means it is going to carry the data from D0 to D7, but you can see this arrow is bidirectional. So it can either carry data into CPU and it can carry the data out of CPU. The second set of buses is from A0 to A11. Okay, a set of address bus for accessing the data. It is written by A, it means it is the address bus from A0 to A11, and I already told you that it is a 12-bit data. Okay, so it is a unidirectional. Okay, it is a unidirectional bus, you can see looking into the directions. Then a third set of buses is D0 to D15. You can see the set of buses from D0 to D15, a set of data bus for carrying the code into CPU. Now see, this is D0 to D15 here. Okay, it is carrying the data from this program memory towards the CPU. It is still unidirectional. Okay, it is still a unidirectional one. And then you have one more set of bus, that is from A0 to A19. Okay, an address bus for accessing the code. So this CPU is trying to access the code from this program memory. It is a unidirectional one. CPU is going to access the code from program memory. Okay, so it is a unidirectional one. So this is easy to implement in an IC chip form. Okay, so such microcontrollers where both ROM, that is this code ROM, and the data RAM are internally on chip, and a distance of certain microns or millimeter scale is there in between both. Okay, so amongst that we also know that RAM is a temporary memory. Okay, because your data is continuously going to be changing. Okay, whereas ROM, the set of instructions, is obviously not going to change. So in Harvard architecture, because of number of buses are more, as separate access will be done for program and data memory, you can find more number of pins, and in all the total pins are more. So so large pins will come out of the microprocessor. Okay, so it has double wires as compared to the von Neumann architecture. So this Harvard architecture is not implemented in PCs and in workstations, but in PIC Harvard architecture internally it is used, but it may also use a von Neumann architecture if it needs the external memory for code and the data. Coming to the next point is a von Neumann architecture. So what is von Neumann architecture? Von Neumann architecture basically shares a same bus. Okay, so it's theoretical design based on the concept of stored program computers, where the program data and the instruction data are stored in the same memory. The von Neumann architecture consists of three distinct components: a CPU, a memory unit, and a I/O interfaces. The CPU is the heart of computer system that consists of three main components: arithmetic and logic unit, the control unit, and the registers. So here you can see the von Neumann architecture. Okay, here you can see the CPU is there, and these are in common, that is code and program memory. Code memory means program memory, and this is your data memory connected with each other. Okay, and you can see these buses A0 to A21, D0 to D7, data bus and address bus. These are connected commonly to both. Okay, so I'll just give you one example for this. Suppose if you are working in your office, okay, and there is only a single biometric machine. Okay, there is a single biometric machine. So if there are number of people coming in to the office, okay, in the morning, at that time